Today we are going to talk about which burn to pick to Parawing. Let's go! Thanks so much for joining us. Today we are going to talk about which burn you need when you get into the Parawing or as you progress into the Parawing. Parawing is this new sport. There's a lot of excitement. I'm super stoked on it, but it's not always easy to pick the right setup. So today we are going to focus on the burn and I'm going to share everything I learned so far. So hopefully it helps you pick the right burn. When we pick the right burn, I think we need to consider three important factors: your body weight, your skill level, and the way you are going to use your burn. Let's start with a beginner mindset. You want to get into the sport, you probably come from winging, so you might actually have the right burn, but we need an efficient burn. We need something that would be a mid-length burn, more on the long and narrower shape. Not necessarily this is a pure downwind burn, not necessarily something like that. A mid-length is going to offer a bit more width. So a good burn, for example, would be the one I use for, I will put the video right here, how to Parawing. I used the AFS 6.6 wide burn. It was 100 liters. So I weigh 75 kilos. That's 25 liters above my body weight in kilograms. And that gives me plenty of flotation. It's wide enough, yet efficient enough to get me going on the Parawing. So, looking at it in a beginner mindset, you definitely want flotation. You definitely want something that's going to be stable. Yet you want something that's going to be efficient. You might have that already in your quiver if you come from winging, something that you use maybe for light wind. And like I said, AFS wide burn, KT Super K, those are great options to get going with the Parawing. Now moving on to maybe a bit more experience, intermediate to advanced level, that's where it really matters to know, in which way you're going to use your Parawing. Let's go to an extreme. This is a 50 liter Super K that I've been using for downwinding with the Parawing. Now it's definitely on a more extreme side because it's 25 liters below my weight in kilograms. So it's a total sinker burn for me, but it's so much fun to ride on a downwinder. It's like just absolutely magic. So why I can ride this burn is because on a downwinder, I'm only going downwind. I'm doing a shuttle, with friends upwind, so I'm not going upwind. So I can be really powered. It gets me up on foil, and I pack it up right away. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm only gonna use my Parawing to really get me up on foil, and then it's over. So I can be super powered, and it's fine. I definitely wouldn't use it if I had to go upwind. I did try to go upwind with it, and just the fact that I was so powered at the takeoff, once I'm up on foil, I have so much power, it's really not comfortable to go upwind. So as you get more intermediate to advanced, you can definitely go smaller volume than your weight in kilograms, but you are going to be so powered, maybe not ideal to go upwind. This is the other board that I use in my quiver. So, intermediate to advanced, you are planning to use your Parawing to either ride waves, so always go back upwind, back to the peak. Maybe you are going to do a upwinder, downwinder, or maybe you just want to ride on flat water back and forth and move on your spot. I recommend more volume. So this is going to be 95 liters, so it's 20 liters above my weight in kilogram, yet it's very efficient. It is a small downwind burn, 6.9 by 18. I love this burn. This is more of like my either light wind burn, or I'm going to cruise on flat water, I'm going to ride waves. This is the burn that I'm going to be using. If you wanted more of like a one burn quiver that would work in most situations, then you would go closer to your body weight in kilograms. So for me, it would be somewhere around like, let's call it 70 to 75 liters. So I would say minus 5 liters to plus 5 liters with your weight in kilogram. That would be more of an intermediate to advanced all around Parawing burn. It's the burn that's going to allow you to not have to be so powered like this one at takeoff. that's gonna be maybe a bit more fun than this one once you are up. But you can go upwind, you're gonna be able to do everything you need with that one burn. So those are like the things that I would say I found about the Parawing. Playing with your foil is also very important. You know, if you get going, if you're a beginner, you know, don't hesitate to put a bit of a bigger foil, maybe your light wind foil under. And as you progress, you can size down on your foil. But what's very important, you know, out of all of the situation we described right here, is that we still want an efficient burn. So we're still going to be looking at a mid-length burn. A downwind burn, you know, for sure will work. I think it's not necessary to go maybe to extremes like, you know, 8-foot burn or more. I think the Parawing offers enough, you know, like power at takeoff that you don't need to go to that extreme. So I would say, you know, stay within reason. You know, below 7 foot, I would say that's the sweet spot. And a wing burn for sure would work. It's not necessarily going to be ideal because I think you want something that's going to be efficient at takeoff. Again, just because anything that requires more power at takeoff, that means you have a bit extra power that you don't really, you know, ideally want to deal with once you're up on foil. That's why you want an efficient burn. So hopefully those tips help you pick the right burn. If you have still questions, you know, don't hesitate to reach out. wingfoilprocenter.com. I will help you personally pick the right burn for you. The Parawing is like this like amazing tool to get into downwinding. To me, it's been a game changer. So I hope you are getting stoked on it. Get out there, have so much fun. See you guys on the water.